Thomas Sheridan had a really good point in his video today. I'll put the link below. But how you must become married to the land and environment that you're in. If you can't do that, then probably go somewhere else. But yeah, like Danny said recently, you gotta feel it in the body first, which is true. Connected with the environment and the body, you got to become married to it, embrace it, and like that's how you get more in touch with the divine. The divine something is not moral; it's natural, and which, you know, those that have been in charge, the priestly type for 2,000 years, told you to despise the body. And like everything else, they would flip it in reverse. Now you have to embrace the body and honor and become like married to the spirits, if you want to say that, the energies in your environment. And that makes a lot of sense to me because like when I was younger, I was like really didn't have all these narratives like blocking me from it. You know what I mean? Or like say if you just jump in the ocean, you're just jumping in the ocean because you want to be in there instead of like, oh, if I jump into you know, athletic wise, what people think that I'm like being like a narcissist, like I'm full of myself. You know, that's just one example of like the many narratives that just clogs everything. And when you look at the people, you know, they're stuck in the narrative. You have to get rid of these narratives. Marry the physical. And I've said this before, and it's cool. Some of Uncanny's videos, he's pointing this out with his disgust with the death cults. See, Matt, he's carrying out, whether he knows it or not. He said he's not a Christian, but he's carrying out fundamentally the same things, especially the same moralities as, say, Christianity when he's not a Christian. So on what basis does he have those moralities and also the viewpoint of death? You know, ultimately, he's seeing like he's going to heaven after this. When not, see, when he says he still has work to do, maybe that's the work to do is, no, you're supposed to embrace more of this. Recently, I was like in a week of like darkness. And you know what I realized is just like, I would say it's a purge. It's those weren't my narratives that were keeping me in this darkness, and something else is entirely going on. And Nietzsche was saying about the truly noble types, you know, while they were in charge, that how do you put it? Like within the noble type, spontaneous ways come out. But like say with the slave type, it's has to come from outside, and you can see it coming because it's like as the orthodox of the group morphs here and there, which it does morph. Look at Christianity and wokeism, right? But it's fundamentally the same thing. But in the truly noble type, a new beat can spontaneously come out, and that's the thing. Like say when I was younger or whatever, and like when I'm going now is establishing your own beat. Thoughts are, you can look at it this way. Thought is kind of like a pill. You can whatever kind of pill you're taking, whatever thought, and then you feel it, and then the feeling should tie into the environment. And if you're not, like say when I lived in New York, that was not my environment, but in Florida, I can marry again the environment. I mean, you know, it's my backyard right there, my little backyard path. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of out here. Speaking of, made this shell recently. But he was saying how, just like with the narratives, I found the shell recently too. Anyways, just like with the narratives, like, you know, that keeps you clogged up and out of touch with uh, your environment, your land, and your body, and also out of touch with your own head. Out of touch your own head. Um, just like, am I gonna jump in the water? Oh, they might think I'm too showy, so let me not like fully embrace jumping in the water because of their narratives in their head. You know, um, we need to separate ourselves and consider ourselves a brand new species, um, uh, something separate to the people. And I don't know. Christopher S. Hyatt said something like the masses of the people are like the food, and they set themselves up that way too. Anyways, but just like the narrative, like, oh, I shouldn't like fully embrace jumping in the water or whatever. Um, so he was saying with Ireland, I forget the name of the goddess that like Ireland is named after, but he said, like a foreign god, a foreign concept, Christianity, put them at disharmony with the goddess of Ireland, and like the spirits that they can find, or spirits or energies, whatever you want to call it, um, put them at disharmony with connecting with that. So therefore, they were forsaken by the goddess of Ireland, which is a representation of everything, because each spot does have its own magic to it. So yeah, to marry the environment, to marry your environment, you, instead of some false hope and death, and it's just insanity. I mean, what was considered good. Nietzsche pointed out a long time ago, like the priestly type, which nowadays we have Paul, because they're looking for a new religion. So it's, the government, big daddy government, the TV experts. Those are like the newest version of the priests, or the wokeism even. So they're frankly looking for a new religion, but the foreign god with as many forms of torture brought to the Europeans and then to the rest of the world. When that happened, the most sickly type, which are the preacher type, were the ones in charge of good. I mean, it's just mass madness. Mass madness. And let me remind myself of this, to break free of the narratives. I don't need to consider them. Yeah, marry the environment.